Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness.
Y'all better come and get it. Yes.
I am Mia.
And I am Christy, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends.
Hey, y'all.
So, our last episode, we talked about living unapologetically.
You know, as you guys say, standing in your truth, 10 toes down. How beautiful that makes life. How freeing it is, actually.
Right.
Talk about feeling free. Ooh, when you're just free to be.
And we were talking about that earlier, advocating for yourself. Like, really, like, stepping up for yourself, regardless. Advocating for you.
Because you have to. So, you guys, so this is a little bit more of a freestyle episode, but we were talking, right before we started this episode.
We do it all the time.
And we were kind of discussing some of the things we wanted to talk about on the podcast. And one thing that came up was how relationship dynamics have changed significantly. I mean, I can minimally speak for within our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like conversations and what that would have been considered, you never say anything like that, or that is not up for discussion, or shush, the devil made you think that,
this is
are
good.
commonplace.
This is so good for us to discuss. Because I do also feel like, you know, once you start growing and evolving spiritually, it's almost like people expect you to let anything slide. And
yeah, you know what?
Once you start like stepping in that and being like,
it's interesting because you're right. There is this
that affects your relationship.
The thought that as people become more free within themselves, that is this inherent freakiness. that they're all of a sudden that means that they I'm going to say, for lack of better words, they become a little freer with whom they allow within that space and energy. What I think, though, is when people truly become free and authentic with themselves, they don't allow anyone to tell them what is relationship to them. So whatever is trendy, they be like, that's not for me.
Yep.
Or they might say, I'm poly and I'm comfortable with being that, and I don't feel like I need to push it on nobody. I don't have to apologize for it. So I think it allows people to be who it is and what they are.
So that's coming out like more frequently, polyamorous relationships. Oh, yeah.
But wait, the other thing is,
excuse me, guys.
I think we have a greater understanding of the energy exchange that comes through when you have sex with somebody, when you engage in sexual activity with someone, an energy exchange. So I think there's cycles, there's waves, there's layers to this mess. So I think there is a point where people may go through, not everyone, but people may go through I feel free, so I want to engage in every expression of that. So if you have felt sexually frustrated or quieted, or just not really being able to be free, that may come too.
Yeah.
But then there's also a place where you're just I know what I'm doing when I am engaging in a sexual activity with someone. The energy exchange is happening, and what I'm picking up and giving back, and what that really is.
Yeah, that's
that makes some people be like, man.
Yeah, for me,
no, but I can't. I can't do it.
I am that. Like, I'm not interested. Because I honestly don't know what you have on you.
I can see what you have on you energetically.
Yeah, it's like, no.
I don't want to share. Like, you can't. If your energy, your vibe, it's something to it. And it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, it has to be somebody that I want to be with for the rest of my life. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying, energetically, when you see somebody, you can't be fine enough for me to want to bump ugly. do the nasty with you if your energy ain't right. Period. You can't be rich enough. I'm dead serious.
Were you about to say bumping uglies?
Yeah, bump uglies.
Oh my gosh. I thought that I was the only. Okay. I recently learned that term like 2 months ago, maybe.
I was about to say, I feel like, I don't know, I must have heard that from my parents or something. I'm like, I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah, I recently learned that because Jason said it. I was like, wait, what?
Bumping the uglies, girl.
I said, wait, what is that again? I said, are you serious? People actually say that?
That was a thing, girl. I think that is way back.
I mean, I think that's a really great way to keep kids actually bumping uglies. No, thank you. I'll pass.
You know what? I should probably be a little more cautious about those little sayings. I'm like, because I really don't know where they came from or what they actually mean. I'm like, I know it was something with sex.
But no,
that's
true.
You don't. You are like talk about a choosy lover. Like you can't be rich enough. There's nobody that can be rich enough. You can't be fine enough. Nothing. If that exchange is not in alignment,
that's why I'm not even interested in like other relationships.
It's just like I'm cool.
I hear women having multiple male relationships. That's like that's a new thing.
Oh, girl,
wait
a minute. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people have probably seen this. There is a woman on Instagram. Have you seen this lady? She has.
Who is she?
Oh, I have to find it, you guys. I don't remember. Oh, please, if somebody knows, can you please DM us on IG at 2 Queens Crystal Things and let us know if you know who this woman is that I'm talking about. I just want to know her username. She's on IG. Okay, so check this out, Christy. She's a sister. She has what does she have? She has 3 men. She had 2 for a while, and like. This is not no like secret swerve stuff. Like they do these videos, and they'll have a video of them, the 3 of us, because it was 2 men at first.
It was the husband and the boyfriend,
right?
And then she brought this other third.
Yes,
and she was so excited.
Girl.
And the 2 men were like,
"Now
why is she all excited for it?"
Yes. Wait, and the girl, the video that had me I just chuckle, honey. She the day that the guy was coming, the two men, the husband and the boyfriend, that all 3 of them are sitting there making a bed together. Girl, I was like, wait, tell you something. I can't get one man to make the bed. I said, this is, and I don't feel like it's okay.
Well, she's using what she got.
I don't feel like no one is in that situation and not wanting to be there. Do you see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Like every relationship, I don't know if they're like I don't even, it is what it is. We only know what was being presented. Mm-hmm. And I've only seen a couple of videos, but I thought to myself, how free this woman must feel to be able to live in her truth. And how free these men must feel to be able to live in their truth, because it's a different time. There's no way.
Do they get to have relationships outside of her?
I don't get that impression. I don't get the impression that's what that they want to. Think about it. What's the difference between a man who has a couple of women and they both loyal to him? I think that maybe because it's not necessarily the way that you feel or that I feel about relationship, we don't understand that there are truly people who that's what they want. And we might say, there's no way nobody wants to share anybody. See, they may not look at it as they're sharing somebody. It looks like they have an opportunity to be in a relationship with another person.
So can I be honest?
Emotionally. I'm just saying. Yeah, go ahead.
So there was this one movie, I cannot remember the name of it, but I think it was like Blake Lively and 2 other men. They were on some island, I think at the end, but she had 2 lovers. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One lover was like very passionate, and aggressive, adventurous. The other lover was very cuddly and romantic and nurturing, you know. So she had both sides of herself fulfilled. I have honestly been in that position where if I were to do things over again, I would have multiple lovers.
Interesting.
I would.
Would you do it now?
I don't think so.
Is it because here's the question. Is it because you're no longer attracted to the idea of multiple partners, or you're fulfilled completely with one?
I'm fulfilled completely with one.
I mean, honestly, I've never even considered it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just,
but
I've never looked at it.
Watching
but
that movie,
I've seen that movie.
I was like, I completely understand.
So wait, I've seen the movie. I totally got it. Like, I got it. And for some reason, I didn't look at them as being emasculated. And, you know, I appreciate a more, I don't know, a masculine. I don't know how to describe. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. And
like alpha male.
Yes, kind of. So I didn't. I was surprised that I didn't find them. Neither one of those guys in the situation. I didn't see them as being emasculated. Like,
right.
Like,
I agree.
They
wanted to be there.
Yes.
They chose
yes.
To be there. Yeah.
And I don't understand why, when you have 3, 4, whatever consenting adults, if that's what they want for their lives, so, like, real talk.
I agree. I mean,
so
I'm like, why does it have anything to do with me, what you all do behind closed doors?
Y'all have, like, it's just, I don't.
And I don't know. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself,
that's what I always say. Look, I don't understand why, just in general conversation, that what happens in people's bedroom is such a hot topic. Now, and I'm not a prude or anything like that. I'm just genuinely not interested in what you do, who you do, how you do it, why you do it, the frequency with which it, because it makes no bearing about what's going to happen in my bedroom.
That's the truth.
So I don't know, but whatever. I think, you know, the world is changing. It's progress, et cetera, et cetera. I think whenever there are changes, there are some benefits, and there are some things that, you know, we wouldn't necessarily be considered beneficial because it's a part of change that hurts. But I think any opportunity where we're creating a safe space in a world where people truly feel free to choose the type of life and love that they want to have, I am, in general, going to say that is a good thing for us.
That's what Two Queens is all about.
That, you know what I mean? Like, I think, yes, there's growing pains. Yes, there's differences. But I mean, that's life. How do we stretch unless we are feeling the stretch? How do you know, think about it. When you're lifting weights and you're working out, you stretch yourself, you stretch your muscle, you contract your body, you're pushing fat out and replacing it with muscle. That is painful. And how do you know that it's working unless you feel that pain? So ultimately, we will come to a bigger space, a more expanded space, a more evolved space. But the process is, it's a little trippy. It's a little trippy. And I'm of the mindset, honestly, that people should do what they want to do. Just don't tell me what the fuck to do for my shit. Excuse my French, y'all.
Agreed. Agreed.
Just let me be.
So
you want the freedom and the space and the respect of free will. I agree.
Yeah.
And same and ditto.
So going back to relationships. So how do you deal with people who used to know how to push your buttons, and then now that you've evolved and you've grown, now they can't get to you? Like, I feel like that hurts them even more when they know that they can't get you like that anymore.
Well, I feel like, I don't deal with them. Like, I'm like, I don't. I'm at that point. If we're at that point, it's and I'm okay with it if I'm at that point. I know that, this doesn't sound egotistical, but I know that my presence is a blessing. I know that my energy is uplifting. I know that something about my presence and my energy makes people seek the light in themselves. I'm never going to apologize for that. So if that's a space that you choose to want to push away because, we don't want to, you no longer wish to grow with me, so I'm growing apart from you, that's a choice you made. And even if I didn't have the nerve, the guts, or the courage to move away with something with an energy that's no longer in alignment with me, the energy is going to take care of that. Yeah. People are just going to fall away. So effectively, how do I deal with them? I do not. Yeah. Because I can't.
Well, so what I was thinking of was my ex-husband. Mm-hmm. Because I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the relationship, he would talk to me, and he knew, like, what words to say that would just, like, dwindle me down, crush me. And then I finally got to a point where I was like, why am I allowing this person to affect me like this? And so one day, he was calling me all of the names that he used to call me. And I was just like, okay, heard that before. All right, you need to give me something else. Like, okay, yeah, heard that. Can you, like, do you need help coming up with some new ones? Because I've already heard this. This is old. And it got to a point where it didn't affect me, and it burned him alive. Like, he was so upset.
Well, that
he lost that access.
Girl, I'm telling you, I think, so I think the win, the cake, is you no longer were the person that could allow something like that to bother you. That's the cake. But that icing, it just so happened that it fucked his ass. You're like, ew, that's cute too. Mm-hmm. But the real win is, dang, it doesn't even work anymore. It's almost like when you hit these new levels within yourself. Yeah. It's like it feels so juicy. You're like, oh, say it again.
I know.
Nothing.
Like nothing.
Wow. Wait. Say something else. It's just like, nothing. That's a whole jam right there.
And the way that it just affects him.
And now you pissed off about it. Oh. And I get to be entertained. I feel good and entertained, child. Hey, pass me my wine. And I look
cute too.
Pass me my wine.
But no, it made me think about him because, like, as I've come to know myself and as I've come to recognize and deal with my shit, I'm a completely different person. And when he would approach me, like, I don't even have any animosity towards them. But what you won't do is you're not going to get my time.
No. Because for what? You have to think about what relationships, man, I just feel like we repeat ourselves. But what relationships show us about ourselves. Mm-hmm. So, spiritually, your relationships are a mirror, a teacher. Have you ever heard that saying, relationship is a reason, a season, or a lifetime?
No.
Oh, there's a saying that people come into your life.
Oh, I've heard that
for
now.
A reason, a season, or a lifetime. So, you know what I'm saying? Relationships. But if whatever it is that you see in someone that just, that they can get to you, that they can hurt you, that is literally just you trying to show yourself where you need to heal. Like, our relationships are meant to awaken and shake in parts of us. Like, they're triggers. And, some triggers can be, are not painful. And some triggers, like, somebody can come into your life and it's just the light that they bring just empowers you so much that you are able to do things you never thought you could do, but you needed someone to mirror back to you how great you are. You know what I mean? Like, just think about how dope that is. Like, I love this person, and the way that they love me shows me how beautiful I am, which gives me the courage to move forward. Like, that's some dope shit.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
Sometimes that mirror is, you make me feel less than, and all you're doing is showing me what I need to work on so that I understand that I am Dan. I am all of that and Dan some. I'm the whole kit and caboodle. But sometimes we have to be stretched and triggered to go on that journey to discover how dope we are. So either way, whether or not it's whichever, it's the left road or the right road, you take the avenue or the boulevard, at the end of the day, guess what you're understanding? How dope you are. So relationships, if we pay attention and allow the lesson and that blessing to come in as it's supposed to come to us, it all leads to our growth. It all leads to our expansion.
I agree.
So when we're looking at our relationships, so this is what I've been thinking about. When we're looking at relationships and what they mean and show us, now that the relationship dynamics, like, what we as a society are accepting as a definition of what relationship is changing and expanding. We're going from from a 2-lane highway to now we're a 4-lane and 6-lane highway. It is what it is. But if that's a reflection of how we see ourselves, what are we telling ourselves? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What does that mean that we? Does it mean that we, as a society, as a collective, are man, there's so many ways to look at that. Feel free in this society? Does that mean that is it still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does that mean that we've gotten to a place in society that we are afraid of the raw vulnerability of committing yourself to one person? That now we've created outs that we're comfortable with. So we don't have to be that vulnerable with one person. Like, we split it apart because that's hard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it mean that we've grown as a society where we understand that maybe where we believe that the way that a man-woman relationship was something that was created by the patriarch that is no longer in power, and so now it's coming from a more receptive place where the divine feminine is in the lead now, as we balance out the collective, and that's a more receptive mode. Mm-hmm. So now it's opening up to relationship is what we make it. But what does it mean? Like, if you're in a relationship with two, like fully, like a open, a polyamorous relationship,
mm-hmm.
which it's the community is much bigger than I think. I don't know if people realize.
Oh, it is. It's huge.
And here's the other thing. This is not new. It's been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
People just weren't necessarily allowed to speak to it, to say it out loud. They would have to tell people they had to live in nanny. Like, it's been disguised for many, many, many years. Their cousin had to move in with them just because they didn't necessarily want, their community or their neighbors to judge them, especially when you have children involved. People get real, very judgy about what you should and should not be doing when you have children based on their own perceptions. And I get it. Like, I don't think, people should be having, crack pipes, heroin, Percocet and pills out in front of their kids and people. You know what I mean? I don't
agree.
think that's a good thing. But you know, if that's what somebody does with their kid, that's on them. What the fuck I'm gonna do? So, but people really do have opinions and can be judgmental.
So the thing that I've always been curious about, and I know, I mean, just hear me out. So when it comes to drugs, people are like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe you do that in front of your child, or, but it's like, but you'll drink in front of your child. I don't understand why that's not given the same level of.
Okay, this is what I think the reason that the way that that is justified is depending on whether or not the drug use is legal. Drinking is legal. So your child can say, at this age, I can do that if I want to. So
But
if you
even
are
like
doing
if I was
something
smoking
illegal, that's legal.
I know, but I've had like, you do that in front of your child, or you've done that like around her. She smells that.
Everybody, but I find it difficult to believe anybody who would say that to you. They don't smoke weed. There's no way. They probably doing something else quietly. No, but seriously, it has to be. Everybody has an opinion. I mean, I would think that the reason that people justify it is like, hey, this is legal, this is not. So you could be teaching your children illegal behavior.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I agree.
It might not be drugs for them. It might be stealing. It might be, you know what I mean? So it's the fact that my parents don't care about the law, so I don't care about what's legal. Now, am I saying the law is right? Or I don't know. I'm just saying, so I can understand that's how people justify it. But however, I do think, I don't know how much of a service we do to our children by hiding who we truly are.
You know what?
I don't know.
I know. I fully agree with that. Because I really feel like now my children are getting the authentic version of me.
Well, I think, man, I think about how helpful it would have been to me as a child to know that my parents they made mistakes.
Oh, I tell my children all the time.
That they have fucked up. That they had, you know,
I tell my kids
they did
all the time.
That I don't think you are,
I'm not
because
perfect.
and this is not the message that parents, I think for the most part, are trying to convey. But I think it makes your children feel bad when they make mistakes that they can't, and they don't tell you what's going on and go to you because you have given them the impression that you have always been this way. And so when your child is going through, I'm not even close to that. They're so perfect. They never make a mistake. I can't go to them and say this. So now I'm sneaking and I'm getting advice from dum-dums my age.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
So before we started recording, I shared with you about my father's 80th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you about the whole pomp and circumstance, and I'm going to tell you about. So I was talking to my daughter later on, maybe that evening or maybe the next day, and I said, do you feel pressured to be perfect?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yes. And I said, where do you think that comes from?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I have no idea. And I said, do you feel like I push you to be perfect? And she said, no. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, but you feel that there's this need for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the reason why I'm asking you is because as the youngest of three, I feel the same way. I feel like I'm always having to step into very big shoes. You know, like my parents speak so highly about my sisters, but then when it comes to me, it's like, oh, I don't know. She's the, flighty one. She's the free-spirited one. She's the dancer. She's, So I feel like I've always had to prove to them, well, no, I'm capable of this, and no, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been working hard and always trying to do things perfect. And that actually started a really great conversation with my daughter.
But Christy, where did you get it from? That you thought you had to be perfect? Did somebody tell you that?
I think it was the feeling that I got when I made the decision to leave school and move to New York. I mean, my middle sister.
So that was a feeling. That was not a, you know what I mean? That was what you chose to believe. If nobody's, you know what I mean? Like the feeling of I have to be perfect.
Well, my middle sister has said some things that made me feel like I was not following in the line.
How many years older is she than you?
4.
So
we've had a recent conversation.
No, I'm just saying. So that's a child talking to another child. All she's doing is sharing her perception based on what she's been taught too.
Yeah.
But
when you're younger and you're being told that what you're doing, like following your heart and being a free spirit and like just going with your intuition and kind of moving with the wind is inappropriate, and you need to have like your life, you know, set out and make life easier for your parents. Like that was kind of, I think that was when it started, you know.
No, so that's what I was going to say. I said, even though she was 4 years older than you, I'm saying she wasn't necessarily an authority figure. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
But
she's my bigger sister.
Right. I was going to say, but there still is somebody who is close to me, who's part of my rearing and raising. Somebody, think about it, you've known her your whole life. Is telling me that I'm inappropriate, even though she's not necessarily an authority figure and can't tell me that I can't do something. It can definitely sit on you.
Yeah. And I would say it wasn't until recently that I've learned to release it and let it go. Like we recently had just like really great conversations, and we've been very honest with each other, and I really appreciate where we are now. And it changes. And the thing is, like, as I've been shifting, she's also been shifting too, like in her own space.
We talk about this all the time, like energy. People, you're either going to come together and ride the wave together, and there will be some people that they're just choosing another timeline. It is what it is, you know.
No, that's so true. And because out of the 3 of us, I would never have expected that she was the one that would kind of be open up. Like I gifted her a pendulum recently. She was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." But
we shouldn't be surprised about when our family and friends start awakening, because that's what you want. What you want them to do.
It is what you want. But out of like her, I would have thought my older sister, but not her. Because she was the one that was just like, life is like this. You gotta follow the timeline.
And she truly believed that until she didn't.
Yeah.
This sounds so crazy, but when I say, like, to me, that is some of the most beautiful part of life. It's like, I know what it feels like to truly and wholly believe in something to be the truth. And now I totally and truly believe that it's all true. That it's all true, and that's such a different perspective. And it's almost like I look at how my views have evolved and changed. That it's trippy to me that this is still I'm still in the same lifetime, and I am wholly
so different. Oh my goodness.
Like,
so different.
It feels like when I think about some things, it feels like I'm watching a movie of another person.
Right. It feels like another life. Or like I'm watching a telenovela.
Baby.
You know, like, oh girl, you better run. Why are you staying with him, girl?
Oh my goodness. Chrissy.
Run.
Run. What do you, I mean, I sometimes have, oh man. I literally will sometimes have flashbacks, like out the blue of something, you know, that I'll just say stupid / less awakened that I did or a decision I made. And I mean, just out the blue, I could just be driving, I'd be like, oh my goodness. like I have to just turn, like, oh my, no, you did not. Like, I mean, man. And
look, sometimes we need to be reminded, like, look, you were being protected.
Baby,
there are times where I did not know how I ended up in my own bed. Like, how did I drive home and get home safely into my own space?
Look.
Ooh.
So it's the evolution, especially like, but then I also love those moments because it's like, man, I might not be where I'm desiring to go, but baby, if I'm not far away from, I'm definitely not what I was. I mean,
ooh, so there was this video or this reel that Jason shared with me. And it was this guy that was walking kind of through his place, and he was like, remember those days where you were praying to get to where you are right now? And that moment where you realize, like, God damn, this is the moment that I've been praying for.
Yeah. Girl, my heart just jumped. Chrissy, like, my heart literally just jumped up. I'm like,
wait, oh my gosh.
That's what it feels like. Oh my.
Like, I'm living the life that I've always wanted to have.
Why are you doing it? No, seriously. Because when you say that, I connect to how when I have those moments, my heart jumps up into my, like, I'm standing still. My heart jumps up to that throat, and I'm just, it's like in the room, I'm just like, whew.
Girl, your face
oh my
is
God. Like, I mean, that feeling is like, whew. Like, when you feel it, you're like, oh my, what? Like, and then when you realize, no, I for real did this.
For real.
I created this from nothing. Are you kidding? Okay, I got this. This
yeah, it really is.
Everybody needs to feel like that. Ooh!
And just to have that moment. I mean, there are times, where you're walking, you might be in the store, and maybe you're in Target, and it's like 11:30 in the afternoon, and no meetings, no nothing, and you're just living the life, and
just in your joy.
Pick up a candle, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm one of those people that I've always like.
What do those people do?
Like, what do those people do? Like, I'm running into Target. My high school's across the street or something. I'm like, what does that person do? They're shopping in the afternoon. It's like, I am that person.
I think I really do. And honestly, how easy it is just make a decision of what you really want to be, and and it helps for people to see a projection of that in other people. It helps. That gives you a template or a guide, or at least to understand that, oh, this is something, and that may be a starting off point for you, and then you create something bigger than that. I think we just continually, and I think I said this last week, we are continually learning that we're the puppet and the puppeteer of our own lives.
Yes. That was an episode I want to talk about, is like being the main character, being the player, being the observer. I mean, it truly is about how you view yourself in this life. Because some people just observe life. They just observe it. They are an observer. They're not necessarily taking part in the life, but they're just observing life happening. Some people are like, no, I want to feel this shit. I want to feel all of it. I want to feel everything. I came in for the shits, the giggles, the tickles, the punches. I can't, baby. I realize, no, I'm not observation mode. Yeah, I'm not either.
I can't. However, what I have learned is I can go to observation mode. Yeah. I know how I can now be in the middle of something where I feel like, okay, you two are in it, and I can literally pull my
I can do that too.
And up and be like, hold on, I think River's knocking at the door. Sorry.
But no, it's so true. But yeah, relationships, I will tell you, these relationships teach you so much about who you are, along with the areas that you need to work on. And honestly, I will say the relationships for me that didn't work out, I had to learn areas of myself that I never thought existed or that were there. Like, I never thought that I was strong enough I never thought that I was worthy enough. And yeah, and I don't feel like now that those relationships have ended, I feel like I've learned all of those things now. Like those areas that I felt I was deficient in, I feel like those lessons have been taught.
So when you think about it in that way, don't you think in some aspects they were gifts?
Oh, absolutely. When I tell people, I send gratitude to both of them because I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for them. And I was having this conversation in my herbal class. We did breakout sessions, and we had to talk about our childhood and how it affected our chakra system or our earth, because we were talking about like earth. This was a Native American class. And she was talking about the earth element, I think this class was water. And the one woman was saying, I'm not going to say her name, but she was abused. And I was also saying that I was abused. And I said, if it weren't for that, I would not be where I am. And she said, well, you just kind of sound like you're commending or siding with abuse. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, and it's okay that we don't agree. Because I said, I don't agree with that.
Just in different parts of the healing journey.
Right. It's like, I honestly am so grateful that, and I said, not everyone wants to go, like nobody wants to go through hell. But sometimes going through hell is what causes us to wake the hell up.
Like, you really gotta think about it from a perspective of balance. When you are building a building, and the taller that you want that building to be, the higher that you want it to go in the sky, the deeper you have to dig in the ground.
Yeah.
The trees that are the tallest, their roots are the deepest and the widest. So there is a lot of growing and hollowing into the darkness before you come to the light, depending on how you want to stand in the light. So when you think of it from a 3D perspective, no, nobody wants to be in an abusive relationship. There is absolutely, and like there's nothing about that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, unless the first time abuse was experienced and you didn't leave, at that point you made a choice that you were going to be in an abusive relationship. Now, emotionally, there are things like that could have been going on that I don't feel worthy, I don't feel strong enough, and then somebody will do things and they'll latch onto that and use that as as a way to manipulate you because they know that this is how you already feel about yourself. There will be people who will abuse people because they see how beautiful and wonderful you are, and it makes them feel inferior. So instead of empowering you, they want to disempower you and make you feel like shit, like they feel like shit. Instead, do you know what I mean? Like, so there's so many different reasons.
That was husband number one.
And we don't. And the truth of the matter is, even though we are making a choice, like a choice to be in a relationship, we don't necessarily think that's what it is that we're doing. Just like silence is a choice. I mean, you know what I mean? So even though I'm not actively saying, yes, I consent to being in an abusive relationship, when we don't leave a situation for whatever reason that we are there, we are there. And then once you get what you came to get about yourself about it, then we're able to leave. And then imagine emotionally and how you just taught yourself to be faithful to you. Imagine how much you have grown, because you just went so deep, like how far you're growing up now. It's a process. So when I say it's a choice, it's like in this lifeline, in this timeline, you chose to go high, so you got to go deep.
Yep, agreed. Woo, man. Okay. So yeah, I was just like, I said sometimes in order to really appreciate the light, you got to go dark.
Yeah.
And it's not like a choice that everyone wants to make, but I was like, that's my journey, so I'm speaking on my journey. You might not agree with it, and that's perfectly fine, but this is how I feel, and
this is, I mean,
this is my truth.
But I do think that it's important to have these type of conversations even with people who don't necessarily agree. Because I told you, I'm for real at the space where, yeah, it's all true. Because I understand, she believes with every piece of her, based on where she is in her life, her perception and her experience, that that's what she heard and saw.
Yeah.
And she had a reaction to it. And it's like, that's okay. That's your reaction. That doesn't change how I'm going.
And I told her,
that's why I said, like, when I say I don't care, it's like I don't care enough for it to change who I am or how I move.
Yeah.
But I love and actually respect and appreciate hearing other perspectives. I love seeing it from another perspective. That allows me to go into observer mode.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me see what this looks like over here. But it's still not going to change who I am.
Because I told her, I wasn't even mad about it. I was just like, it's okay that we don't agree. I mean, you have but I said, I'm speaking on my journey, and this is how I feel, and whatever. But.
All right. Well, you know what, you guys? We're going to wrap it on up. And we appreciate.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about. Wait.
Oh, yes. You guys, really quick. We have a sound healing meditation workshop on a Monday, June 19th at welcome at
everybody.
The LaSalle Hotel.
Bring a friend.
In Chicago, Illinois. There is a market prior to the sound healing. The market, what starts at 6 p.m.?
I believe so. Yes.
6 p.m. Bring your yoga mats or whatever, something that you would feel comfortable meditating to. And like I said before, you guys, if you have eye pillows, bring them. Because I'm telling you, listening to these bowls as you lie down, with an eye mask on, fly it. Talk about some flight, okay? Take off. You guys, it's $35. There is a market. What am I missing, Chrissy? So if you're in Chicago, we love to, in the surrounding areas, we love to see you guys there. It's at the LaSalle Hotel, Monday, June 19th. Starts at 6 p.m., correct?
We start at 7, but they're starting to...
The market starts at 6. It opens at 6.
Yeah.
So cut there at 6. The sound healing starts at 7, and it'll be a great time.
Yep. And then there's a community hour at the Dream Market at 8. I'm not sure what that is, but all are welcome, like she said.
You guys, so please check us out. You can find a link to the event. Go to our IG page, 2 Queens Crystal Things.
Yes.
Again, 2 Queens Crystal Things. Check it out.
Yes. Hope to see you all there.
Yes.
All right.
It'll be something, an enjoyable evening, guys, like for real. Sorry. I'm trying to put our friends on.
It's legal.
I'm trying to put our friends on.
It's legal.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, people, it's like, come on
now. Okay, anyway, guys, we love you guys, and we will talk next week.
Yes, yes.
Light,
peace,
love,
and soul.
Bye, guys.